is, once again, the hub of the Division III universe this weekend, much as it was last week. Smith wins the opening tap, and they control, moving from left to right on your screen to begin the game. So Bondi dribbles off to the right side. Hailing from Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. Mandy Castro advances the ball down to the block, and the shot up over Gnarly is no good. Good defense provided on the attempt by Guess Pritchett. Long lob ahead for Legacy, gets herself to the window and scores. And Babson is quickly in front. Legacy, a junior forward out of Attleboro, Mass, and Bishop Feehan. Lob entry, a good one down to the baseline. Score it and one. Taylor Russell let herself get beat to the spot. And Erin Hanley certainly made her pay for that. Hanley was able to just muscle her way down to the baseline. She is a 5'10 sophomore guard from San Francisco, California, and St. Ignatius College Prep. As that shot misses, and Russell just got run over from behind by Guess Pritchett. Easy foul call there. Fouls now even at one aside. 9:16 to go, first quarter. Knotted at 2 between Babson and Smith. Pickering steps into the long 2, spits out, and the rebound pops out to McClellan. McClellan ambles into the front court. And we'll see what we've got here. Mandy Castro steps left, gives to Hanley. Hanley stops at the free throw line, backs out, still 14 to shoot. Screens all over the place, but Castro stays up high on Pickering. Pickering's not going to give her an inch. They set the screen, opens up the three-pointer, which is no good, and hits the rubber strap up over the basket, prompting the whistle. It was a good screen set up high by Guess Pritchett, which took Pickering out of the play defensively. Set up the open three. You've just got to knock those shots down if you want to beat a team like Babson. Babson coming in 20-5 on the season. Pioneers coming in at 18-8. Gnarly from the free-throw line, leaves it back for Lane. Lane curls back out, lob entry to Russell, gets it around to Gnarly, strong uptake and a basket. First points of the game for Jen Gnarly, the senior forward out of Medfield. Multi-sport star here at Babson, also a very accomplished women's soccer player. Dribble drive to the baseline, no-look kick out to an open shooter. It's Castro again, she misses again. She's had 2 wide-open looks at threes the last 2 trips down the floor. Babson quickly down the floor. Lane through the lane to Legacy, and she scores again. Brenna Legacy's got a game-high 4, and that's the difference in the game right now as Babson leads 6-2. Can Smith keep getting these wide-open three-point looks, and can someone knock them down? Those are the biggest questions for their offense right now. Spin in the lane, and it's Hanley scoring again. She's got all 4 Smith points. Has looked very good down on the post. 7:23 remaining. Good entry to Legacy. Spins. Her shot rolls around the rim. Bounces out. But Russell is there with the offensive rebound, and she scores. That'll prompt a timeout by Lynn Hersey. Your score 8-4 in Babson's favor. The big reason for that has been Brenna Legacy, who's gotten a couple of good inside looks. Babson moving the ball around well in the front court. In fact, that's where almost all of the game's points have been scored to this point. Hanley with 4 from inside for Smith. Megan Holland up top. Bounces one to the left for Hanley. Hanley steps inside. Kicks around left. And now up top for Guess Pritchett. 7 seconds left to shoot. Holland puts up a 3. No good. Smith is 0 for 3 from downtown here early. Bounce pass up ahead to Gnarly. Gnarly goes up strong. Misses. Nearly got the offensive rebound, but Holland was down low waiting on it. Holland, a junior out of Atherton, California, and Sacred Heart Prep. That ball out of bounds, turned over. Goes back to the Beavers with 6:37 remaining in the opening quarter. Lane handles the inbound and dribbles into the front court. Gives to Gnarly. Gnarly over to Pickering. Good entry to Lane, and she's able to score off the glass. First points of the day for the sophomore out of Skaneateles, New York. And the Beavers widen their game-high lead out to 6 at 10-4. Kick through to the backside, another open three. This time they keep it down, and do we have a foul or a travel on the baseline? Looks like it was a foul. Yeah, they call it on Lane. It's her first. Second on Babson. Russell had picked one up earlier in the quarter on the N1 play. Lob entry. Comes out up top. Fall-away shot. Bounces in. Good look there for Katie McClellan. And the sophomore out of Palmyra, PA, scores her first points. Beavers back to within 4 at 10-6. Lane, good entry for Russell, who dribbles back out to the wing. Gnarly up high. Gives back over for Pickering. Pickering hasn't handled the ball much yet in this game. Not anywhere near as much as she will, that's for sure. Lob into Gnarly, kick back out. Lane spots up for three, and it's good. First made three-pointer of the game. Elizabeth Lane has got Babson's last 5 points.
The biggest thing was that Brenna Lagacy and Liz Lane scored in the first quarter. Were hot on transition, and I think that made a huge difference because it gave us the momentum we needed to start the game off and the confidence that everybody was going to contribute in that game.
Down the offensive board, sets up a fresh 30 for Babson. Pickering calling up play number 1, gives it forward to Gnarly. Gnarly surveying passing options, returns to Pickering, who's isolated, far side of the floor, steps into the mid-range and hits. And the senior from Hull has her first points of the afternoon. Babson by 9. Dribble through the lane, stolen away by Russell. Babson with numbers if they hurry, and we know they always hurry. Russell gets fouled and will go to the strike. Good hard foul there by Bondi, not letting her have the layup, but momentum has turned in a big, big way in the favor of the folks in white. 4:37 to go, first quarter. Beavers now in front by 9. Russell steps to the free throw line, senior out of that tremendous high school program at Braintree. Makes her first of 2 free throws. And Emily Bonifacek will come in off the bench for Babson. Russell came into today's game a 75% free throw shooter on the year. Misses the second here, so she makes 1 of 2. So 4 straight points for Taylor, and Babson's lead stands at 16-6. Ball out of play will stay with the Pioneers. 4:27 remaining in the opening quarter as the student section continues to fill in at Babson. Of course, this is there for Smith was Marquez. Didn't get it. Passes left. Late shot clock three-pointer. No good. Another missed 3 by Smith. Ball's all tangled up down low. Bonifacek came away with it but stepped on the end line. Bonifacek was in hand-to-hand combat down low, trying to grab that rebound. Couldn't be had. This is a fun one. Don't have a number 14 on the Smith roster. Usually that sort of thing is over by this time of year. Pickering kicks out to the wing. Russell going to spot up a 3. No good off the front rim. Offensive rebound by Bonifacek. Too much on the shot. Rebound pulled down on the other side. Jumper from the elbow. Spits out. Gnarly grabs the rebound. And outlets to number 11, Catherine Tamulionis. Good stop and start as Tamulionis has that first.
At that point in the season, everyone has every other team's playbook. And so when you think about being in the stretch of championship games, it's critical that everyone steps up, across the board, from rebounding to running execution on offense, defense, and obviously scoring. And so to have everyone step up and score early in the game definitely helped with opening up lanes for really everyone else, people coming off the bench, starters, myself, Taylor, Jen. And so I think it allowed us more flexibility in how we were running our offense and being able to get out ahead of Smith pretty early.
Up top. Bounce entry. Kicked out. Looking at the 3 was Holland, who kept it down. Holland to the dribble. Leaves it outside. Here's Bondi. Bondi stripped, and the ball stays with Smith. 8 seconds left to shoot. 2:37 remaining in the opening quarter. Bondi looking inbound. And she lobs it up high for Marquez. Marquez with 5. Jump shot good. Marquez gets Smith back within 8. Remember, they were recently down by 10. Pickering tried to restore that, couldn't. Spalacy got a fingertip on the rebound, couldn't corral it, and Smith gets another chance to cut into the deficit. Pull-up jumper, no good, bounces out. Rebound blocked by Gnarly on the uptake by Seymour. Babson on the move. Timulionis with that speed. Leaves it for Pickering up top. She fakes the dribble drive, steps into the long 2 and gets it to go. Pickering wasn't exactly balanced, was jelly-legging on that right knee, but still got the shot to fall, and Babson back in front by 10 at 20-10 with 1:48 remaining in the first quarter. Holland fouled on the floor. Timulionis gives the foul. Babson, of course, had it to give. Beavers still have one more to give. Jen Gnarly comes off the floor. Ashley Snyder comes in. Ashley's got quite the cheering section of recent alums, as there's quite a few NEWMAC champions in the stands cheering for the green and white today. Saw Nikki Hebern, Lynette Graber, Meg Otto, Rena Malios, just to name a few, just the ones that I eyeballed on the way in. 1:35 left in the quarter. Bondi steps out to the elbow. Good bounce entry, and free throws coming. Foul is going to be on Snyder, but it was in the act of shooting. And we'll see if we can find out who this is at the line. It's going to be Amanda Barrascale. She changed her jersey number. Didn't get the memo on that. She normally wears number 40. And Barrascale now with 3 points on the day. 5'9" junior forward out of Mill Valley, California. And Tamalpais hits both of her free throws there. Smith back to within 8. There's a stop back at the other end for Smith. Offensive foul called on Giovanna Pickering. Babson spreading the fouls around here late in the quarter. Smith now is in the penalty. We'll see if they can take advantage, can make this a pretty close game if they can keep this going for the next 75 seconds. Lob entry nearly swatted away by Timulionis. Inside out pass, and not wanting the knockdown shot was Holland. Had that whole side of the floor to herself and brought it back up top. Long jumper from straight on, bounces out, and Babson catches a big break. You wonder why Holland was afraid to put that shot up wide open. 52 seconds left in the quarter. Russell from her happy spot dribbles away from that. Of course, she was contested. That's right where she likes to shoot, though. Lob entry to Timulionis. She gets blocked on the way up. Ball out of bounds. They're going to keep it with Babson. 13 to shoot. Legacy comes back in. Looks like Gnarly's going to come back in as well. Snyder and Bonifacic check out. 39.1 seconds remaining on the big board. And for Smith, Shihara comes back in. And Bondi goes to the bench. Timulionis, good entry to Legacy, who was left alone off the inbound, and she scores.
I think it was extremely key, especially this was our third time playing Smith that season. It's always tough to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. And going into that, we had known that, so we really wanted to start off strong. And especially hosting the NEWMAC for the 2nd year in a row, I think we really had a chip on our shoulder from the year before. But we wanted to do really anything that we could to make sure we'd end up in that championship game again. And all of that started, with starting out strong against Smith.
First free throw bounces out. 20.6 seconds remaining, so the Beavers should be able to hold out for the final shot of the quarter. Second free throw is good. Lane pushes to the corner. Couple dribbles here by Russell, gives it back up top. Here's Timulionis with 7. Wants the high screen, gets it from Gnarly. Dribble drive to the basket, got herself all the way in, but got stripped on the way up. Good defense by Seymour. And that's how the first quarter comes to an end. But a strong first quarter for the Babson Beavers. After one, that means Beavers are spreading it around because Legacy has had 6 points in limited opportunity. All 5 players on the floor right now for the Beavers scored at least once in the first quarter, including Tamulionis, whose jumper there bounces out, and Barriscale pulls the rebound. Works it ahead to Castro. Castro dribbles drifting to the left. Ball up top for Castro. Lob entry comes down to Kennedy. And her shot high over everything. Kennedy Guest Pritchett, that is. She's got 3 last names to choose from. Tamulionis advances to Gnarly. Gnarly swings out to Russell, who steps back into a 3. No good. Legacy gets up over 2 opponents for the offensive board. Bounce entry to Legacy. Shovels it back out before she traveled. Around to Tamulionis. Gets the screen from Gnarly. Dribbles baseline. Throws it through. Gets knocked out of bounds. Beavers keep it with 19 to shoot. Pickering back in. And it's Tamulionis going to the bench. So Pickering out there with Russell, Lane, Gnarly, and Legacy, the true starting 5 on the floor right now for Babson. Gnarly tried to get set up, couldn't. Lane to the left.
I think it's because we put it in the off guard. We took our hands off of the point. We put Liz and Kat at point and let Giovanna be on the swing of the ball. And so when she was in the swing of the ball, a lot of times she could attack, or if they played off of her, she was taking that one dribble and pull back and firing away from the outside. She hit a couple of threes, but she never does. And I think that made a huge difference, taking her off the point.
Smith looking for the shot from inside, misses wild. Open was Chihara, didn't put it anywhere near the basket. Pickering up ahead to Russell. Russell had too much on her shot, gets her own miss. Pulls up from where she likes to shoot and hits. I tell you, Russell almost never misses when she shoots it from right there. 24-13 now the Babson lead with 8:11 remaining in the first half. Lob to Chihara, gives it back up high. Bounce pass to the wing. Entry pass poked away by Gnarly, taken by Russell. 3-on-2 up the floor for Babson. Lane had to settle it down, throws a dangerous pass, fits it through to Russell. Russell over to Gnarly, her shot didn't get close. Guess Pritchett standing in there tall. Smith doing an all right job defensively. They've just got to find some offense. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. A lot of possessions like that with shots that aren't close. Marquez with the miss there. All alone at the end is Legacy. Waits for the defender to commit, misses the bunny, went up, got the rebound, and then got pushed on the way down by Chihara. First foul on Jay Chihara. As Tamulionis comes back in for Babson, Lane will sit down. Chihara goes to the bench, and Katie McClellan is back on. Foul was on the floor. And they actually called that foul, I believe, on Barriscale, which is surprising. And that jumper is good for 3. Catherine Tamulionis now with 5 points, and Babson up by 2 touchdowns at 27-13. Cross-court pass to the back corner. Down in the lane. Kick back out to the right side. And for Smith, it's what do you want? How perfect does a shot have to be for you to let it go? That one not perfect for Marquez, but she's able to hit it. Smith is moving the ball pretty well, finding some open shots. They've got to take those shots when available. Just in general, but especially when you're down 12. Pickering muscles her way through the lane, no good. Speaking of muscling, how about that rebound by Gnarly with 3 Smith defenders around her. Backside movement, Russell moves and misses the 3-pointer. Rebound taken by Castro, 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. So let's take a look at this offense by Smith. They've got it spread out with the guards up high, the forwards down low like you do. Now let's see if they can find an open shooter who's willing to put it up. Nope. Entry knocked away by Gnarly, up ahead to Pickering. Pickering dribble drive. She's not giving that up, and that's why.
I think a lot of the challenges we had earlier in the season when we played them at their home court was they just sunk in. And so having, Liz and Kat running point gave more flexibility for our offense, I think, in general. But for myself, being able to cut, to, find open spots to penetrate from a driving perspective, and then also opened up some lanes for the outside shot.
Brings it over to Russell. Dribble drive, a good one to the baseline. Tried to lob it for Legacy. Couldn't. Saved or not? Not. Good move there by Gnarly. Couldn't keep it in bounds. And timeout taken on the floor. 5:40. Welcome back to Stockey Gymnasium. 5:42 to go first half. Beavers with a commanding 29-17 lead. And Smith using their timeouts pretty liberally here in the first half, down to just 2 remaining for the game. But, of course, doesn't matter how many timeouts you have if you're buried in the second half. And Lynn Hersey certainly has a healthy appreciation of that. So Smith going to see what they can do about trying to shave maybe half of this deficit down in the next 5.5 minutes and make a game of it for the second half. Megan Holland working on Simulionis. Good entry pass down low. Barraskill had position, misses the shot. Gnarly grabs the rebound. Gnarly up ahead to Pickering. Swung left. Here's Spalacy thinking about the three. Went to the dribble. I think she stepped out of bounds. They're actually going to call a foul down low on Smith. Spalacy very daring, dropping that left foot back before beginning the dribble drive. Foul on Barraskill is her second. Beavers get Jackie Josephic on the floor for the first time. She's brought quite the cheering section today, I understand. There's where she likes to shoot from, right? Straight up top. Doesn't that time. Pickering puts to the floor, cuts right through the defense and scores. Split 3 defenders like she had a knife. And the Beavers lead by 14 again. .444 to go first half. Kick out to an open shooter. A swat by Spalacy is able to bother that shot. Here's Josephic up ahead to Simulionis. Spalacy calling for it. She can move. And she'll get herself to the free throw line. McClellan was a sitting duck right there as Taya went racing by. And that's another added element for Babson, is everybody on this Babson team can run. You've got to be able to play in Judy Blindstrup's system. But Simulionis and Spalacy, they can really, really move. And you saw that on the last 2 trips up the floor. Taya makes her first free throw. And that's her first point of the day. She's a sophomore guard out of Belchertown, Mass. and Belchertown High. Hits both. And Beavers are sitting pretty right now, up by 16 at 33-17 with 4:28 left in the first half. Holland gets a high screen, goes around it. Shooters available. Swung to the corner. Lobbed out to the left side. Good ball motion. Ball on the edge. Kick to the backside. Here's Hanley. Hanley had their first 4 points, remember. Misses that shot. Rebound by Josephic, but she fumbled it out of bounds. Judy Blindstrup less than thrilled with that call. Nevertheless, Smith going to keep the ball with 4:05 remaining in the half and a fresh shot clock. Entry to Hanley. Hanley dribbles to the free throw line, crosses over, lays it up, no good. Gnarly the rebound. Outlets to Pickering. Pickering racing the floor into the front court. Pickering throws it up, scored, and one. Giovanna up to 10 points on the day now, and you see her firing up her teammates with her play as she's done throughout her career at Babson. 35-17. The Babson advantage. A foul is on Bondi, her first. Pickering's free throw is good.
I think that our team was built off of a transition game. We didn't have the tallest team, and I think that we really focused on being in the best shape possible and being able to get out and run. And how you do that is by forcing turnovers and owning the glass. And so that had been a focus all season. And it's a testament to Jen and some of our forwards with how well they did in handling our rebounding game and then being able to quickly outlet to our guards and be able to run an offense. And I think a lot of our points throughout the season had been off of transition scoring, which was, awesome to see, and I think a big testament to our success.
Leonis, it's her second, as it prevented a dribble drive that most likely would have gone straight to the basket. 3:23 remaining in the half. Taylor Russell comes back in. Spalacy goes to the bench. Did a nice job while she was in there. 3:22 remaining. Entry pass ends up in Russell's hands as Gnarly was trying to knock it away, ended up missing both of them. Russell out to the wing for Pickering. Pickering's feeling it right now. He checked good.
Well, Coach Blindstrom had been on me probably for 3 years, so I felt like it was time to finally develop an outside shot. But I think at that point in the season, every team knows each team's strengths and weaknesses, and so it's really important for us as individual players to adapt, and then us as a team to figure out how we're going to be successful and win games at the end of the season. So for me, I think I had run into it a lot with other teams around packing it in the paint, knowing that I really like to drive, and that's where most of my scoring had come from. So that whole week prior, I was just on the gun, getting a lot of shots up, a lot of reps to make sure that, I was confident going into the weekend that I could open up my game and make sure that we were putting ourselves in the best position to win.
Her development as a player, particularly rebounding. Lob down to Gnarly. She just wasn't doing these things last year. It was not like she was incapable, but she's just become such a maven when it comes to rebounding and defense that it's made Babson, maybe they would have been a 16-17 win team.
Definitely like the pressure on ourselves just because, it did come down to one possession the year before, and I think all the seniors collectively really we knew what it was like to win a NEWMAC championship, and just ending our senior year with that was an amazing win for the program, and so I think that was our ultimate goal. And I think just going in knowing like, hey, we can do this, we're hosting here again for the second year in a row, we had confidence, but also just a bit of pressure, like, hey, this is something we really want, like now we just got to make it happen.
Down three, short off the front rim. Rebound pulled down by Hanley. Hanley, and they're going to call a foul there on Russell. She was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Russell really absorbed 100% of the pain and the contact there, but when there's a collision and you don't have the ball, chances are it's going to be a foul on you, and Russell finding that out the hard way. That's her first foul, just the second on Babson, so Beavers at least can afford it. With 1:33 remaining, lob entry to Guest Pritchett, blocked by Gnarly inside. Looked like that was going to be an easy layup, and Gnarly using that speed to get in there last second. Pickering misses the runner back the other end. Lane had her hands on it but couldn't tie it up, so Smith getting a chance to run the floor. 1:17 remaining, and that time Gnarly gets called for a foul, and she just rolls her eyes as she does all the work to come up with that steal, but ends up getting punished. Went around Guest Pritchett, and Guest Pritchett really has been a non-factor today, despite the size advantage inside. She's listed at 6 feet. Gnarly's listed at 5'10", but Jen's made up for it in other ways. Kick to the wing, three ball up, and it's good. First three-pointer of the day for Smith. They need those in a big way. Lauren Bondi hits, and Smith back within 17 with 1 minute to go in the half. Smith needs a good final minute. Dribble drive by Lane. She gets tripped in quite a literal sense by Bondi as they got their feet crossed up, and it's the second personal foul on Bondi. Fifth on Smith, so that triggers the bonus. Babson's had just about everything go right in the first half, including being in the penalty here. Lane puts up her first, misses. Bonifacic comes back on the floor. As Lane awaits the second opportunity. Shoots, misses off the back rim. So one of relatively few mistakes here by Babson. They leave a couple points out on the board with 53 seconds remaining in the half. Ball fielded out on the left wing by Hanley. Hanley reverses it to the right side for Bondi. 10 to go, entry pass to the lane, shot good. There's Hanley again. She started the scoring for Smith, may end up bookending it. 30 seconds left to go. Smith, to their credits, got it down from 22 to 15. Makes it at least competitive going into the second half if they're able to start the second half strong. Pickering looking for some help, dribbles around it. Maybe a bluff there. She pulls up into a mid-range jumper and hits. Monster first half for Giovanna Pickering. She's got 14. And the Babson lead is 17 at 41 to 24. Kick up to the top, 3 balls, spits out, and Bonifacic takes the rebound off the Fugaris miss.
Welcome to the beautiful campus of Babson College, located 14 miles west of Boston. Our athletics department features 22 varsity programs, and we are proud of our tradition of success. We are home to 5 Division III national championships and have sent 16 of our programs to the national postseason since 2015. The $52 million state-of-the-art Babson Recreation and Athletics Complex is home to the Beavers' 22 varsity programs. Completed in the summer of 2019, BRAC includes a 3-court recreation center, a 2-story fitness center complete with cardio and strength training equipment, and updated locker rooms for all teams. The new 75,000 square foot space also features a new athletic training room, film room, and multi-purpose spaces for athletics and community events. Stockey Gymnasium, home to Babson's men's and women's basketball and volleyball programs, also went through a renovation last summer that included a newly redesigned floor, composite bleachers, and hand-sewn banners. The indoor track overlooks the gym and the department's varsity-only weight room, the Lunder Performance Center, while the new Hintley and Family Indoor Golf Performance Center sits next to Lunder. Morse Pool, which is home to the Beavers' men's and women's swimming and diving programs, is across from the Roger and Rico PepsiCo Pavilion. Adjacent to BRAC is Babson's outdoor facilities complex. Field hockey and the men's and women's lacrosse programs play at McDowell Field. Hartwell Rogers Field features one of the top natural grass surfaces in the country for men's and women's soccer, and Alumni Field is home to the softball program. The Beavers' new state-of-the-art 8-court lighted tennis facility is a short walk from the softball complex, and down the hill is the Babson Skating Center, which houses the men's ice hockey program. A short walk from the upperclassmen residence halls and accessible from Route 135 is Gavoni Field, the home of Babson's baseball program. Finished prior to the fall of 2019, Babson Commons at Horn Library is home to technology-enabled classrooms, the Stephen D. Cutler Center for Investments and Finance, and academic resources such as the Math, Speech, and Writing Centers. Opened in the fall of 2019 during Babson's centennial celebration, Carrie Murphy Healy Park celebrates the college's long-standing commitment to global diversity and impact. The park features the iconic Babson World Globe, the Centennial Walkway, and the Fountain of Flags as a show of respect to Roger Babson in his dream of appreciating the world as a whole. Located across from the Globe, the Reynolds Campus Center is a hub for on-campus activity. Whether visiting the campus bookstore, checking your mail, grabbing a bite to eat at Crossroads Cafe, or just relaxing, Ray's is a popular hangout for students, staff, and professors. Opened in 2018, the Weissman Foundry provides a creative space for individuals, groups, and entrepreneurial startups to collaborate, experiment, and build. The Foundry has the tools and resources needed to take ideas and concepts to the next level. The Park Manor Quad, located just off College Drive, is home to 4 residence halls, a newly renovated green space, and the Schlesinger Innovation Center, which was specifically designed for work in foundations of management and entrepreneurship classes. 2 of the oldest buildings on campus, Tomaso Hall and Knight Auditorium, are both identified by their iconic pillars. Knight was one of the first buildings constructed at the college in the 1920s, while Tomaso served as Babson's library from 1939 to 1980 before becoming one of the main academic buildings on campus. When you arrive on campus, one of the first buildings you see on the corner of College Drive and Map Hill Drive is Trim Dining Hall. The main dining hall at Babson, Trim received a facelift in 2016 that included the opening of the new Rogers Pub and Grill Room. Thank you for joining us on our virtual tour. We are looking forward to seeing you on campus in the near future. Go Babbo!
Going into the second half with that 17-point lead, it's awesome, but there's also the added stress of like, okay, we're up 17, we've still got a whole half, and now our momentum's kind of shot. So I think the most important thing to come out with was like, we came in, we're like, hey, we're up 17, but nothing's guaranteed in the second half. We need to come out with the exact same intensity that we started this game with. We can't take our foot off the gas. With the lead, it can be easy to get comfortable, and the key was just to keep doing the small things right that really got us that lead in the first half. I just remember we were rebounding extremely well, making sure that we weren't giving up second chances, and just continuing to play tough defense. I think G and I and Jen and the other people on the team, we all started with that before Judy came in, and she came in with, that exact same kind of mentality. Like, hey, we can't get comfortable here. This is a good team. We need to make sure that we keep all of this up in the second half and don't let up on any intensity.
Got the win Wednesday night over MIT on the road to advance here, and there's a foul on the floor. It's going to be against Russell. Foul is the second on Taylor. It's the first of the second half on either squad. Fresh 30 seconds for the Pioneers to inbound. And they put it in play out to the wing. Step back three, misses off the back rim. And Guess Pritchett pulls down the rebound, so perhaps she's gotten the message that she's got to perform better against Gnarly if this game is to turn around. 18 to shoot. Good entry pass, dribble, shot up and through for Ellen Hanley. And the lead is down to 13. Smith as close as they've been in quite some time now. Russell steps out into a mid-range three. No good off the front rim, and a monster offensive board by Gnarly. She didn't get the putback. Deserved the reward, didn't get the membership bounce. Jumper in the lane, up and good. Basket by Barriscale, and that will prompt an immediate timeout by Judy Blindstrup. Is Smithstrup pulling no punches here, using a full timeout there. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining and 8:28 left to go in the third quarter. Ball comes in play to Pickering. Bonifacic now out there for Babson. Handling the ball, lobs it back to Pickering. Pickering has her pass tipped, but it makes it through to Russell. Russell picked up her dribble, gives to Gnarly. Gnarly's pass hits Judy Blindstrup in the foot, and that's no good. Judy Blindstrup making her, that pass just hit me in my foot face. So Smith's got a chance to make it a single-digit game, and they've got a chance to do so with a lot of time left. Dribbling at the top of the key is Marquez, who gets it over to Hanley. Hanley up to the free throw line. Her jumper is good, and Smith has come back to life in a big way here in the second half. Hanley now with 10. And the deficit cut in half. From 17 down to 9 here. Foul on the floor. Shot would not have counted. Hanley picks up her second. It's the first on Smith in the quarter. Still 7:41 left to go in the third. Really almost all of the second half still to be played. Pickering's jumper spits out, but then back in. It's been that kind of day for Giovanna Pickering. She's had the Midas touch. She's got 18. Jumper from the baseline rattles in. Good looking shot there by Marquez. So this Smith offense has hit another gear, and not a moment too soon. 7:17 remaining in the third. Lane straight on three, misses short, but lands right in the hands of Gnarly, who gets it back to Russell in a good spot, and she knocks it down. Good teamwork there by the Beavers to make something out of nothing on that possession, breaks their offensive drought, and gets the lead back up to double digits, although a foul will quickly send Guess Pritchett to the free throw line to try to cut that back down to single digits. Something to monitor here. That foul is on Jen Gnarly. It's her third. Babson's got to find a way to keep Gnarly out of foul trouble, because if she gets into it, if she were ever to foul out, Guess Pritchett would become a major factor in the game immediately. Although she misses her first free throw there. Guess Pritchett, a 58% free throw shooter on the season, a sophomore forward out of Fairburn, Georgia, and the Lawrenceville School. Second free throw, no good off the front rim. tapped out and taken to the wing by Hanley. So a chance at bonus points here by Smith, but a terrible pass, errant over everything by Bondi. Lands in the front row, and Beavers take the ball back with 6:50 remaining in the third quarter. Josephic sets the screen up top, goes to the dribble, gives it off to Russell. Russell lobs left for Pickering. Pickering to the baseline. Simulionis drops it back. Pickering steps into a long two. No good off the front rim. Nobody home for the rebound. And Pickering hustles out to the ball. Knocked away from her. It'll go over to Smith. Good hustle play there by Giovanna. She just needed room to take one more step. She'd have hauled that in. Russell with the steal, on the move. Goes across Pickering, doesn't fit the pass over, and why would you when you can take a shot like that?
That last line of defense, which was Jen Nolly, she was just amazing. I mean, she just got around people. She knew when to time things as far as deflection and stuff, and it caused a lot of transition, which gave us the opportunity to run. So I think that a lot of it was the confidence when people could be more aggressive on the ball because they had confidence that Jen was behind them. Like we always talk about, the team defense was there, and they knew they played defense as a unit. So I think that made a huge difference.
Dribble drive in transition by Bondi. She dribbles into and out of traffic, and now will set a half-court offense with 20 remaining on the shot clock. Bondi looking over to the corner, gives the ball up for Hanley. Hanley lobs cross-court, and it winds up in the bench. Marquez got a hand on it, left her feet maybe a little too early. And ball goes out of play. And back over to Smith. Beavers looking to widen that lead back out. It was 17 at the break. Ball comes in play, and Simulionis dribbles into the front court. Around to the left wing, here's Pickering, step back, three, no good. Gnarly's got another offensive rebound. Josephic over to Pickering, dribbles through, shot in the lane, drops. Monster game for Giovanna Pickering. 20 points already with 4:54 to go in quarter number 3. Step back three-pointer, no good off the back rim. Josephic had a hand on the rebound, lost it, but out to Timulionis. She's got just enough room to run the sideline, and that she does. Dribbles around a defender, gets it back, drops it to Russell, and it's good. Jacqueline Josephic dribbled the ball around the back of Megan Holland, fit it over to Taylor Russell, and when Taylor can take a shot from there, the ball goes through the basket. It's as simple as that. Nifty.
Yeah, I think they were just so motivated after we blew the game the year before. So I think that they had determined from the beginning that was not going to happen again. So I don't think they felt pressure. I just felt they were, they just weren't going to be denied. They made a point to say that every game, and I think they, I think it really made the underclassmen grow up really quick and realize that, hey, this is what we're playing for, and you got to be ready to play at any time. So I think it helped a lot because obviously in the Smith game we went really deep. I mean, we played a lot of players, and everybody came through. Taya played well, and the Cat came well off the bench, and Jackie, they all contributed off the bench, which was good to see in a big game.
Smith has gone firmly back to Babson. Smith had cut it to 9. It's now back to 17. Babson with a chance to run away and hide now. Pull up by Pickering, bounces in. Pickering playing an MVP type of game. And she's got 22. And the Babson lead stands at 19. Shot, another clear out by Gnarly. Up ahead to Timulionis, out to Russell. Her jumper is good.
I think experience definitely plays there. I think, the biggest thing is, I knew at that moment, anyone on the team, we had all said all year, our goal is to win a NEWMAC championship. And I thought anyone who wanted to be on that floor, I knew my teammates were doing anything that we could to make sure that we'd win that game. And so that was just kind of the mentality that I had as well. We want to make sure that we can take the program a step further than the year before, win NEWMAC to make it to NCAA. So if you're out on the floor in a big game like that, you got to make sure that you're doing the little things right and making sure that you're making stuff happen.
If you hadn't blown the whistle already, why are you doing it now? Babson's going to keep the ball, so that's to their benefit. But Guess Pritchett comes out. Snoddy comes back in, but I mean, that's a possession that was still going for Babson. Looked like Pickering was going to get that rebound, and that Babson was going to continue to play with a 5-on-3 advantage. I look at it anyway as a break for Smith that whistle was blown. Smith doesn't want Babson to have the ball, so that's why they're upset. But a little bit of something's better than a whole lot of nothing. Josephic over to the right side. Cross-court pass, swung to the corner for Pickering. Pickering to Gnarly at the free throw line, drops it back to Mulionis for three, bounces out. Offensive rebound by Russell, and Russell got tackled in the open field. The shot does not count. The foul is on Hanley. She picks up her third. And now Spalacy comes back in. Russell will go to the bench. So Mulionis will get ready with the inbound. Inbound comes to Pickering. Spalacy receives up top for Josephic and around it to Mulionis. She loves that dribble drive. That's why. Doesn't get the roll. Got herself free all the way to the hoop, though. 2:47 remaining in the third. Smith needs to catch fire here quick if we're going to have a fourth quarter worth talking about. Mid-range pull-up, no good by Marquez. Rebound, you guessed it, Jen Gnarly. Pickering got grabbed down on the floor, and that should be the fourth on Hanley. Believe it has to be. There's nobody else it can be on, and Hanley has been one of the relative few scorers for Smith today. And she may just have to stay out there with 2:32 left in the third. So Mulionis puts the ball into Pickering. Now, Babson, we talked about being a bubble team. Smith is not on the bubble at all. They have to win the tournament in order to continue this year. Three-pointer is good for Giovanna Pickering.
I think the running game changed the whole game. We pushed at every point, and then they started to spread out to pull out on Taylor because she hit a couple. And then when you had Liz even hitting, then it opened up the lane for G, and she knew when to take it in and when to pull up. So I think, she makes a good decision most of the game throughout, like doing that, the two different things, like when to pull up and when to go all the way in.
Marquez, 72% free throw shooter on the season. And she'll step to the line with her team in some dire straits right now, down by 24. First free throw is true. Marquez now at 9 on the day. Tomasini comes on the floor. Tumulionis comes out. And what a job Catherine Tumulionis did in this third quarter for the Beavers. Free throw, is good. And Marquez finds her way into double digits, not a moment too soon for this Smith offense, which trails by 22. Pickering rises for three in the corner, and it's good. Giovanna Pickering filling it up left, right, and center. She's got 26, and Babson's lead is 25. You do the math. She's a valuable player. 1:42 to go. Elbow jumper bounces out, but an offensive rebound plucked by Holland. WPI's women have arrived. They will take on Clark next on BabsonAthletics.com. We'll have all four games for you today here. Three ball up and good for Marquez. She's got 13. 1:22 left to go in the third. Babson with the commanding lead at 61-39. Pass down to the baseline to Mulionis to a cutting Legacy. Her shot bounces out. Straight on three. They've got to let them fly. Bounces out. And Tomasini gets the rebound off the Fukaris miss. 4 on 2 up the floor. Legacy scores and the foul, and this one's just about done. Smith just not getting back on defense like they were earlier in the game, and that's turning it into a fish in a barrel situation for the Babson offense right now. Fukaris picked up the foul. It's her first. Smith. Pickering comes off the floor to get a little extra rest around the quarter break, and has she ever earned it? You're just not going to beat Babson in this building if Giovanna Pickering has an active and accurate jump shot, and she's had that today. She can beat you without a jump shot, but today she's got it, and that is checkmate. Bondi enters and is knocked away by Legacy. Babson's defense has been terrific in the low post today, refusing passes, bothering passes, blocking shots, stealing the ball, winning rebounds. Those things win you games. Those things are what keep you going into March. Tomasini there, despite the lopsided score, fighting for it, and she's rewarded with the call as she puts it out of play off Marquez. The Babson fans here saluting the effort, which is something that Babson fans do. You know, whether there's 50 people or 500 people in the crowd, they always do salute the effort plays here, and that positive reinforcement, I think, leads to more and more of them getting made on the court as the season goes along. Bonifacic missed everything with that jumper, but everything's okay when you're up by 25 with 21 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and that's where we are right now. So Smith's got one more chance to cut into the deficit, but they're going to be really up against it. Say they make a three here, they still be down by 22. They're going to try to do that. Marquez is white hot. If they can just have her take every shot, maybe they've got a chance still. But a 24-point game. Spalacy might have gotten away with a double dribble there. Passes, and it's fittingly stolen. The shot did get off in time. That would have counted, but didn't go in, of course. So at the end of 3 quarters of play, your score, Babson 64, Smith 42. Babson 10 minutes away from the championship game. And we'll have those 10 minutes when we return on BabsonAthletics.com. All right, welcome back here, BabsonAthletics.com, as we take the turn into the fourth quarter. As the highest scoring quarter of the game, both teams had their highest offensive output. That's really good news and bad news for Smith. The good news, they got their offense going. The bad news is they got buried in the process, as Babson won the quarter by 5 points and now leading the game by 22. Marquez has put on a show, and there's another. Paige Marquez just needs to take every shot on every possession, and if she keeps hitting a three every time down the floor, maybe they'll come back. Tomasini puts up a three, can't get it to go. Bonifacic gets it over to Legacy. So here's Marquez again. And like, I'm joking, but at the same time, I'm also completely serious. If you want to have any chance at all here, you've got to feed Marquez, get her the ball again. She's looking for it out on the wing. They don't take it. And the jumper bounces out. So Babson comes up with a rebound.
We went into the season like we know what it's like to lose a game like that. And we also know what it's like to be on the flip side and win. And so just that was, I think, our large goal from the second that our season started was like, we're here to win another NEWMAC championship. All the seniors were on the same page, and I think the whole team was bought in from the first practice that, like, this was our goal. This is something that we set out to do. And the whole season just about, like, setting little goals about, like, how do we get there? How do we make sure that we're in a place where we can win that championship again?
Rebound goes out of bounds. It will stay with Smith. And a fresh 30, 8:48 remaining in the third. The Cavalry comes back for Babson, Pickering, Gnarly, and Tamulionis all back on the floor. Tomasini, Legacy, and Lane all sit down. Now Bonifacic goes down. Snyder comes back on the floor. Lob entry pass comes out to Bondi. Bondi to the dribble drive. Spins off that pivot foot. No good. Pickering the rebound. Beavers into the front court. Pickering steps back, gives to Spalacy. Tamulionis isolated, makes it to the baseline. Did she step on the end line? She did. So Babson turnover there, gets it back to the Pioneers, and it's just a shame for the Pioneers that they weren't able to keep it closer in the first quarter, in the first half, because they've played much better offense here in the second half. If they were down, maybe 10 or 12, you'd have to take them seriously. But being down 19 at this stage is an awfully steep hill to climb. Bondi looking for a screen, pulls up in front of it, throws up a three, and it's good. Bondi's second triple of the day. And Smith is within 16 at 64-48. Babson has yet to score in the fourth quarter. Dribble drive by Spalacy. She pushed off and is called for it. Might have gotten away with it, but she really did herself a disservice by following through with the forearm after the contact. You could kind of see after the contact and separation had occurred that she committed the foul. So she's called for it. Babson turns it over, and maybe, just maybe, we're not done yet. Smith minus 16 at the moment, but they're on a 6-0 run to start the fourth quarter. Here's Marquez, who's been red hot. Gives the ball off to Bondi, who just hit a three. Bondi returns to the top of the key. Ball movement around to the left for Hanley. Hanley takes Metcalf off the dribble. Dribbles behind her back. Kicks out left. Jumper misses and falls out of bounds. I mean, Hanley's foot was completely on the sideline. Saving the ball.
Coming off of the season prior, you're just chomping at the bit to get back on the court and, get to that NEWMAC championship and NCAA tournament each and every day. And so it had been a focus for the entire team the whole season, but especially as you hit that stretch, I think it's critical to understand where you came from and where you want to go. But we all stepped up that entire weekend and were able to put our best foot forward and kind of get revenge from the season prior, and it was a huge part of what we had really been working for the entire season.
In her career has averaged 12.1 a game in the NEWMAC tournament. Well, she's safely shattered that. She's had big games against Smith. She's averaged 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists on 47% shooting in the other 2 games this year, and has had a day very consistent with that here today. Averaging 15 points a game in 9 career games against the Pioneers. Smith will be very happy to see her get her diploma. Won't we all? Jumper from the baseline, no good. Loose ball comes out. Metcalf plucks it, gets it to Pickering, and here she goes again. 2-on-1 as Tumulionis with her. In the pass, batted away from behind. Good hustle play by Bondi with 6:46 left to go in regulation. Entry to Gnarly, giving up high for Pickering. Snyder, one dribble out to the right. From the free throw line, Snyder drops it back, sets a screen. Pickering on the move, rises, enters to Gnarly, who shoots and scores. A lot of times it takes a lopsided fourth quarter to get Jen Gnarly the points to kind of justify or make the point number reflect the game that she's played. A lot of times she's had huge contributions, but just doesn't have the points to match, and today's another one of those days. Snyder picks up the foul there, her second. And ball comes back in play to Hanley. With 6:17 to go, she'll put up a three. Why not at this stage? Ball on the floor. Snyder gets a hold of it. Babson has the arrow. Sydney Coe now going to come onto the floor for the first time today, a 5'6" sophomore guard out of Seattle, Washington, and Lakeside. She comes in, Hanley goes out, and we'll see if maybe that stretches the perimeter for Smith a little bit at this stage where they've got little alternative, down 20. Babson likely will take this into the final 6 minutes. Gnarly with the catch, throws back to Pickering. Pickering's jumper misses. Gnarly saves it in play, but over to Smith as Bondi comes away with it. Bondi's got a full head of steam, throws up the fall away, and it's good. Nice move to the basket by Lauren Bondi, her first 2-point basket of the afternoon. Babson very quickly back. First shot was no good, but Tumulionis was there to clean up. She got fouled and will go to the line. Good hustle play by Metcalf, who couldn't get the finish. Foul on Bondi is her fourth.
Because I think they showed up every day for practice. They worked hard. Like we just said, they were determined to. They knew they let the game the year before slip away, and they weren't going to let that happen this year. So they were so determined in every practice, came every day, played hard, and they had fun while they were doing it. And they motivated the rest of the kids to be that way. And as long as you get everybody working hard, you're going to move forward really quick. So I think that their leadership on and off the court was a vital part of why we were so successful.
And outlets to Pickering. Pickering into the front court, through the lane, got stripped on the way up, and they call a late foul. And we'll see if they give her the benefit of the doubt and say that was in the act of shooting. She did leave her feet, so I think you have to. And they will. Foul was on Marquez. It's her first. And Pickering goes to the line looking to see if she can crack 30 here today. First free throw is good. Smith can make some substitutions here. Second is good. .30 for Pickering. Babson leads by 22. Dribble drive, kicked out to the wing. Ball loose, taken away by Timulionis. Up ahead to Metcalf. Metcalf lays it in. And that'll get a big cheer out of the crowd as she joins the club with her first points of the afternoon. Five minutes remaining. Entry pass down to the block. Drops to the wing. Stepping left is Marquez. Marquez leaves it out. Jumper no good off the back rim. Pickering with another rebound. Pickering out to the right side for Timulionis, who returns. Step back three from the corner is good. Giovanna Pickering has added a three-point shot, and in the process, she's become the most dangerous player in New England. 33 on the afternoon. 77-50 the Babson lead. Push pass back left from Marquez. Ball in the lane and knocked out of play. Timeout on the floor as we hit the media timeout. We'll take it and come right back. Babson on cruise control. Output by any Babson player in any game this season. Pickering had that record for the year already with 31 in a game that went overtime against MIT, not needing overtime to torch Smith this afternoon. Emma Seymour scoring her first points of the game, a sophomore out of Seattle. 4 minutes remaining, and Pickering is now out of the game as they're just going to get her some rest the rest of the way. So 33 looks to be the final tally for her, and I'm sure we'll get her up here after the game's over to talk about it a little bit. As Josephic dribbles, gives it back for Lane. Lane steps inside, and her jumper is good. Lane up to 7 on the afternoon, and Babson leads at 79-52. Pull-up jumper, mid-lane, no good, and it's brought down by Metcalf. Metcalf getting some valuable tournament experience here. Gnarly leaves the pass back for Timulionis, who shifts it over to Lane. Josephic's got a cutter from Metcalf backdoor, doesn't go there, didn't have the passing lane really. 10 to shoot. Timulionis got blocked inside, nice play inside by Emma Seymour. Takes some time off the clock though for Babson, and that's the key with 3 minutes to go. Seymour from up top goes to the dribble drive, brings it down low, spins and spins some more. Pass tipped, stolen away by Metcalf, who just ran out of room in the corner, otherwise it would have counted as a steal. Nifty play. Bonifatric comes back in, so does Tomasini. Jen Gnarly comes out and will get a proper salute. Gets the double high five from Judy Blinstrup. That's when you know you've had a day. Timulionis comes out as well, as Babson will play for a championship here yet again tomorrow, as they've had a tremendous amount of success in this league in recent history, as Pritchett able to score there, gets it to within 25 at 79-54. Babson was challenged early in the second half. Smith was down by 17 at the break. They cut it down to 9 in a hurry. But boy, did Babson ever respond today. Tomasini puts up a three. No good, hits the strap, which is a shame because the ball went through the basket. A less attentive referee would have let those points count, but it's correct to have been blown dead as the ball hit the rubber strap above the basket that allows you to hang the basket from the...
They were such a great group to coach because, like I said, they worked so hard and they were so motivated to succeed. And to see it slip away the year before was such a tough thing to swallow. So to see them get it back the following year, I was just really happy for all of them. You know, they worked hard to get there, and as you know, it was a tough conference that year. So it was great to see them succeed, and then to turn around and go to the NCAAs and go past the first game. You know how hard that is, and I think then that just built confidence to get us all the way to the Sweet 16.
Cracked the 80-point threshold again. Quick return from the other side, no good. Guess Pritchett swings it out. Three-pointer, no, and Josephic grabs the rebound. Tomasini into the front court. Babson had 88 against Farmingdale State earlier this year. 99 against Mount Holyoke, that hardly counts. 80 against Emerson. 86 against Clark. I mean, that's the real high game of the year in NEWMAC play. As the foul on Seymour will put Bonifacic to the line. So 88 the number to beat. First free throw up and through for Bonifacic, her first point of the day. As Smith will now empty the bench.
I definitely look back on, that season, all 4 years really, extremely fondly, but I'm extremely proud of the team that we had my senior year. I just think it was like such great camaraderie. Everyone really was just in it for like the collective team wins. We had the same goal in mind, and we all set out to do it. And just being able to wrap up 4 incredible years at Babson with a NEWMAC championship, and also like the furthest run that personally like our team had made. It was just an awesome way to end 4 years.
Baseline jumper bounces out. Rebound taken. And thrown up and through. 50 seconds remaining as Tomasini brings into the front court. Out to the left side for Lane. Tomasini bounces to Bonifacic, and she is tied up. Arrow goes the other way. Something I've been noticing about Bianca Tomasini all year that I haven't really gotten a chance to talk about, but I will now because it's 83-56. And what else do you talk about? Her sneakers and socks are a shade of white that nobody else achieves here for Babson, whether it's with their uniform, their sneakers, their socks, their headbands, whatever it is. All year long it's been like that, too, as Seymour makes the three from straight on.
I couldn't ask for anything more. I'm incredibly proud of the season we put together, but I think even more so the relationships that we were able to build throughout the 4 years with the teammates and our coaches and even the other teammates. When you're now in the working world, you realize how much that experience shapes your skill sets and how you have perspective on each and every day, but also understanding how important relationships are in building within business as they are in athletics. And so I look back at those 4 years with nothing but positive memories.
On the floor is Juliana Rosenberg, the junior forward out of Verona, New Jersey. Lane's got it. She goes to the dribble and gives it back to Tomasini. She'll dribble out the final seconds. Babson with a convincing wire-to-wire win in the semifinal, 83-59 over Smith. Babson maxes out its at-large resume, and they stand on the doorstep.